you doing? I'm recording this on the 1st of June, 1 in the morning, 1 o'clock exactly. I just have some thoughts to share, preferably in the smartphone arena. I think the last time I dropped a video on a phone, it was the UMI-Digi S3 Pro, which is no longer my current phone. The charging point went kaput and they wasn't supporting, any after. It wasn't fixing it. It gave me a little runaround. So, of course, yes, that left a little bit of taste in my mouth. Contacted them, UMI-Digi through AliExpress. I actually still have my U watch too. I just haven't used it really. I gotta get a new strap for it. I know it's probably easier than I make it myself. I could probably just order one from AliExpress, which I plan on doing. With that being said, UMI-Digi has a device out now. They have a couple of devices out now. Even though I think one of them is going to take time. So, there is the UMI-Digi S5 Pro and the UMI-Digi A1. I know the A1 is currently available. Let's talk about the A1 first. Now, right here, it's the A1. So it's supposed to be 4 cameras in the back. 6.3-inch screen, full HD. Same as this. By the way, if you need to know, my current phone is the Blue G9, which I want to upgrade real bad, because my Asphalt 9 doesn't look as good as it did on here. And with everything happening, I can't seem to find a place to try to fix this. And I don't trust myself to try to fix it or DIY this phone, especially when it comes to the battery and the charging port. But I digress. So the front camera is a 16 megapixel. See, ultra wide macro, AI quad camera. So you get a choice of 4 gig, 64 gigabytes, or 4 gig, 128. It's actually not bad at all. Android 10, 4150 battery. That's still a pretty good size. The UMI-Digi was a 5100. I think the thing with this phone, the battery was too hot. It gets too hot, in my experience. So I think in part with the me messing up the charging port, it fell a couple of times. I mentioned that in the video with the review of the UMI-Digi S3 Pro. Now back to the A7. Type-C port, as expected. This time it's 2 fully usable SIM slots and an SD slot. Usually you have a SD for a SIM, a mini SIM, and then a micro SIM. It's one or the other, just like the S3 Pro was before. And it's a completely glass phone, which makes me nervous, personally speaking. You're definitely going to need a case. UMI-Digi phones usually do come with cases. I've seen a video on the phone already. It does look good. Okay, it's a whole thing here. The web page is a giant advertisement. Bear with me. You seeing this live like I'm just seeing it. I just loaded it up before I started the video, but You see what I'm seeing. So that's one of the phones I want to get, though. Should be better than the A5 Pro, as expected. Octa-core processor. I believe this is the battery they've been sticking with in most of their phones lately, give or take. Maybe 4500 was the max, or 4550, depending on the phone. I think the Yumi Digi Power 3 had 4550. If I'm wrong, just let me know. And I don't worry about bands so much because I have a G9 phone, which have exclusive LTE bands. The problem is the processor of the phone and basically is still a little ain't the greatest, and the software ain't the greatest. So you still go through some crashing, some hiccups because of the lower hardware, despite it having all those LTE bands for the US. But my experience with the S3 Pro it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all, really. You know, having the phone in the corner saying LTE, it didn't have to say that. It just did its job. I'm looking for a phone really for more functionality, like to play games on my phone still. Even though I'm starting to hit the PC and the consoles again. Well, the PC thing is new to me, but back to the matter at hand. So as you see here, you have two SIMs, Android 10, of course. Next phone, Yumi Digi S5 Pro. So this is the next flagship phone for Yumi Digi. Helio G90T. They call it a gaming processor. I don't know much about Helio than the deep specs and stuff like that. I'll say I'm a tech enthusiast more than ever a tech nerd. 6 gigs at 256. The 256 gigs of ROM has me excited. And yes, it still has a 6 gigs of RAM, just like the last version. Now, look like here they bumped the battery up a little bit, 4680, but not 5000. Has a pop-up camera, in-screen fingerprint sensor, apparently liquid cooling. I didn't see that part. They're definitely trying to advertise this as a low-end, a budget gaming phone, if you will, as well as a flagship budget phone. It's got glass on the back, pop-up selfie camera. Okay, it has all the features of a pop-up selfie camera. And tests prove for 300,000 pop-ups in their test conditions, which means you should be just fine on how many times you use the camera. You should never in any way run out of or damage the pop-up camera. Most of these budget phones we all know last no more than 2 years. Most of us change a year and a half or a year. So that's nothing to worry about. I'm a little concerned about the in-screen fingerprint reader. I see on a lot of lower end phones or budget phones that do try to put that. It's not the greatest at all or good at all. They had the Yumi Digi X, and it seemed like it didn't do too well. Wasn't terrible, just wasn't great at all. but it still got my curiosity. You know, if you do things that requires a fingerprint sensor or fingerprint scans, like passwords or whatever, you gotta think about stuff like that. So I would like to see the gaming. I would like to see gaming benchmarks. So the G90T is equivalent to a Snapdragon 730. Well, they say it's better. Let's just hope Digi, software can, make that happen. They're saying that here, but once you get in your hand, you can do your own test. I know I do. Spray liquid cool system. I don't know about calling it a PC grade liquid cool system, but they put in some kind of liquid cooling. Um, this little thing looks like it's equivalent to an ice pack, pretty much. I gotta personally say, with this phone at 128 gigabytes of RAM, I haven't even filled it up. Wasn't even close. Even with my current phone, I wasn't quite close just yet. 64 gigs, it'll fill up a little quicker, but I haven't tapped it all the way, or taxed the memory, I mean. So 256 gigs of storage, you shouldn't have to worry about anything. And you can still put an SD card in there. I don't know what's the max. Did they say the max on here? Wait, did they even say? I don't know. I didn't see anything about the SIM, but you gotta put a SIM card in there somewhere. I do not buy that they have 4K video recording. That means they screaming Ultra HD. You know, many companies like to make bold claims until you get the device in your hand, and you looking at the cameras, it's like it's impossible for them to do that. I would like to see it in real world. So then there's one more phone I want to ask about. Basically, I'm trying to figure out what phone should I buy for myself and review for the channel. I miss NFC. I got used to not using it anymore, but it is a very nifty function. Okay, so let's see. Yep, 33 bands. I didn't see nothing about an SD, but maybe I skipped that in the memory. I overlooked it. Just let me know. Yeah, I don't see nothing about the SD button. Just like the S3 Pro, I'm pretty sure it has an SD slot. And probably up to 250 gigabytes. I'll let you know what I find out a little later on. Okay. Now, one more phone. And there's another phone, actually the TCL. But let me know if you don't want to see me get a TCL phone. That's an option too. Them TCL phones looking pretty good. Cause I was going to pick those phones over the A51 or the A50 from Samsung. Just pay a little bit more money and get some better specs and some better quality. Advertisement. Okay, this is the Redmi Note S. This is it. This is their new stuff on the budget end. I wanted a Redmi Note 8. I may have mentioned that in the video before. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in the S3 Pro video, but it's the phone that caught my eye. I'm not worried about that. It's a glass phone. You know, that's the rate of all phones going right now, even on the budget end. But you would think they'll put wireless charging. I don't think there's wireless charging on this device. Uh, 6.67-inch screen. Screen's a little bigger than the Yumi Digiphones. Now, are you gonna see the difference of that much? No. Android 10, an octa-core processor, Andreas GPU 618. So the internals vary. So there's 6 gigs. I mean, excuse me, 64 gigs, 4 gigabytes, and 128 at 6 gigs. They're screaming a 48 megapixel camera. So is the S3 Pro. Yeah, it's a cutout in the front. So that's gonna be your 16 megapixel selfie camera. Video recording at 1080, 60 frames per second. I'm not doing anything in 4K at the moment, so that's fine with me. Battery's bigger on this phone than the Yumi Digis. 5020. And fast charging as expected, USB-C. So, my question to you is, what do you want me to review? You can leave it in the comments. I'm thinking about the A7, personally speaking, from Yumi Digi. But the Redmi Note was kind of like my dream budget phone last year with the Redmi Note 8. So, part of me was want to kind of just feed into that and get the Note 9S. Some stuff I'm hearing about it so far is already pretty good. But let me know, and thanks for watching.